So I'm not sure if you guys, like how many people already have experience here. So if you can, if you already, I would say on a scale 1 to 10, how experienced you are with crypto and blockchain technology. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like you feel like you're on an expert level, or you've been doing this for at least, let's say 5 years. You don't have to be like perfect, but you feel like you've been doing it for about 5 years. But 1 being on the side of like, I'm not even in it yet, haven't purchased any crypto, I don't test out or understand how blockchain works. Like, give me an idea where you are. Flat in the middle. Okay, I see. Let me see. Glow Ray 4. Okay, Lisa said a 0. It's fresh. 1. Shali. Thank you for the honesty, everybody. Kendra said 4. Brent said 2. Julia said 1. Okay, Gabby 0. David 1. Alexis 1. Marlon 0. Okay. Zach had a 6. Lori had a 6. Brianna had a 4 or 5. Tracy said holding and selling. Okay. Okay, y'all in it. Let me see. Okay. Takara Trevin at a 1. Lenora at a 2. Gigi 3. Stephen at a 1. Robin at a 0. This is good. I'm loving that there's a lot of beginners in here, so people won't feel uncomfortable enough to even, like, they feel comfortable enough to even say that, which is cool, to say I'm at a 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. Solid 0. All right, cool. So I'm gonna take it real slow, but I'm also not gonna go super deep, because this is a matrix. Like, it gets really deep instantly. Like, so we have to be careful. Our job here at the Unlock Academy is to simplify things, make it seem as approachable as possible, even though, you know, everything is a mountain in itself, and it can get really complicated or challenging if you let it. It's really about incrementality. That's what I call it. Being able to think and study and research in increments. So we don't have to overdo it, right? We don't have to overwhelm ourselves, but just know that there's so much opportunity here, and it's really, really important that we get into it. All right. Like, I mean, when I mean into it, I mean, we really get into it, not only investment on the money side, but also just on the infrastructure side, and understand how to use it and really leverage it for more than just like monetary gain. So we'll be talking about that. Okay. I first got into cryptocurrency and blockchain, I would say about 13 years ago now. Shoot, it's been a while. And then and that's not even when I got into it, that's when I got exposed to it. And really because it came through cryptography, right? Really being able to understand the root word of cryptocurrency that we hear a lot is cryptography. And when I first started and I got introduced to coding and software development, it was like one of the first projects I got into was learning how to encrypt and the power of encryption. And I didn't know until years later how important like encryption was to things like Bitcoin, right? I heard about Bitcoin, didn't really jump on it, but end up finding out that encryption, this thing that I fell in love with, because it's possible to take a message, totally encrypt it, send it across the internet, right? Send a message across the internet. Think about sending a very, very valuable message from your home to the president, and it gets it there safe, right? It gets there safe. If somebody touches it, they won't be able to do anything with it because it's encrypted. That's what I learned encryption was. And I was like, whoa, like we can kind of do these things in public, but at the same time, it's still private. So that's why when you go to websites and you see things like HTTPS, that S is important because it has encryption involved. And now everything you type into that website or everything you type into that app is being sent over a secure connection. So that's also the same situation with cryptocurrency. It's about security and also about privacy, but also a sense of transparency, right? And we're going to talk more about that in a second, about how it can be super secure, but also transparent at the same time, which makes it kind of like self-governed. That's the key thing. It's like, we're going to get into this place to where it's about, we don't need a government to govern this little world, this little matrix in itself. Instead, we can really govern ourselves by these rules and let the algorithm do it itself. So one of my whys was like, okay, once I found out how cool it was and financially, like from Bitcoin gains and things like that, I was okay, I can make money from this thing, right? And then I can help other people make money as well. So I got a significant amount of my mother's side of the family to actually invest into cryptocurrency. years ago when it was like really shaky. It was like, what the heck is this stuff? Like, no, but I'm like, yo, just try it. Even if it's just put $10 into the pot, like just try it. Um, and now they can see the gains of that, which I think is really cool because now it makes them more interested in finding out how can I do that again and again and again. So that whole thing pulled me in as far as how it can build like this generational wealth, right? Generational income. But also like we can do a big thing as far as making a big impact as well. Crypto and blockchain, and we'll talk about the definition of these words in a second, but they just give us this huge ability to create our own worlds. And right now, because of the world we're living in, like we all know the last year and a half has been just like, without cursing, just like a whole shit show, right? For real. I'm sorry, I just have to say it. And that even started before that when presidents changed hands and like there just became this big race war and class war thing happening all over again and again and again, right? So we went through that phase and things just are getting crazy. And a lot of us don't want to live in a world like this. And now it's kind of possible to start creating your own worlds, and people are doing it, right? People are creating their own economies. People are creating their own um, business centers. I'm gonna show you some different cryptocurrencies that are just like simplifying supply chains, like just the way that businesses deal with each other, B2B or even B2C. And then now even C2C, how even a customer to another customer can exchange things really quick or exchange reviews really quick, share money really quick. It's kind of cool. So it's so much that you can do with it. And I want our people who feel like they're being left behind, right? The people who say I'm at a 0 or 1 or 2, who feel like, why isn't anybody teaching me about this thing that's like taking over the headlines? Like really a big thing in our world is becoming more prevalent. People are investing billions of dollars into it. But here I am not getting any kind of like public education, any kind of basic introductions, no kind of like real experience with it. So what we decided to do was just to figure out how to make it as approachable as possible, as I said, and also just with no barriers. Like, for example, to get into this class, it costs you nothing, right? You can get in here, you can learn some things, ask some questions, make some connections, and it costs you nothing. It's hard to do that anywhere else, right? They didn't make it really simple for us, but it also is very important for us. Like everything, like I said, the world around us is changing. Everything is going digital. And it's really important that we pay attention to where money is going as well. Most of our days goes towards how to earn my next dollar, right? How to earn my next euro, how to earn my next franc, right? Wherever you are around the world, you're trying to figure out, not all day, but a big percentage of your day is how do you make money, right? And money, as we know it, is changing. And even the government knows it, the banks know it. Everybody is kind of pivoting to try to get ready for this digital revolution. And it's here. And now now we starting to feel the effects of it, how you have to adjust. And a lot of you may be feeling it as well. You may be having FOMO and you want to make sure that you don't miss out. And I'm here to tell you right now, in this situation, FOMO is good. And it's not really the fear of missing out, but the fear of not being motivated by opportunities. That's the way I put it, right? You don't understand the opportunities that's around you. And I will be fearful of that, like to not have an idea of something that's going to dramatically change my life, right? Something that's going to affect me. And I'll talk more about that here in a second. But not really understand how it's going to affect me or be able to take advantage. Instead, I just become another consumer of it. And that's the key thing, right? I go back and I talk about kind of like the phases of the internet we have went through so far. You can say like I1 was the 90s when the internet kind of was exposed and put out there and shared with the world. And people just used it to send, basic communication back and forth, right? That's internet 1, right? 1.0, I1. And then internet 2.0, we step into like a more social realm where people actually start to use it to do business transactions or to talk with other friends on a more social level. So, internet 2.0, we get more of the explosion of chat rooms and email becoming more popular to use. Some websites come up like Amazon where you can buy books and things like that. So commerce and social interactions, society becomes a thing on the internet, right? Out of nowhere. And some people still aren't taking it serious, right? Still not, like, you could think about some of your ancestors and your mom or your father or your uncle, or just certain people in your family who didn't realize that somebody made $1 million off the internet in 1998, or made $1 billion off the internet in 1998, right? Well, you just can't like, your parents probably couldn't fathom that, because they're like, what is this thing? It's not that important. It's not going to last. I don't really need to worry about it. But here we are, 20, 30 years later, and still here. So it's just really cool to see how it has progressed. We get into the internet 3.0, which is like the 2010s, and I think this is when we really become interconnected with the internet, right? We really believe it's like part of our life. It has to come around, like it goes everywhere with us. Our cars, our home appliances, we carry around phones, laptops. These devices all have the internet connected to it, because we need to be knowing what's the latest updates, what my friends are doing, what the weather is looking like, where can I go eat at right now, what's open, all of these different use cases of the internet. We want it with us all day, every day. And it's just like this crazy, like I said, interconnectedness. And now we go from being like, I'm not worried about that internet thing, to hold up, it's here and I want it around me all the time. So, and then I think eventually it's now getting to this point, which is my bigger why. It's going to get to this point to where we go from wanting it all the time around us to not wanting it all the way, not wanting it around us all the time. It becomes more of a tool. It becomes more of a weapon, or it becomes more of a distraction, or something that separates us from the true essence of the world, because it spins out of control. That's one of my biggest fears, is that it spins out of control, and there's not enough good people to actually help contain it, right? We're getting into intelligence, right? We can barely even comprehend our own intelligence, but here we are building all kind of artificial intelligence applications and use cases, and just letting it go, like experimenting and trying different things out. They're putting artificial intelligence in the hands of police officers, who we know have a history of, being irrational and just making split-second decisions that can change the world, right? Literally can change the world, can change someone's whole life. And we're kind of like toying around with it. So I 3.0 was, like I said, this interconnectedness. Right now, I think we are like I 4.0, with like blockchain becoming this huge thing, where people saying, you know what, not only am I interconnected with it, I'm going to build a whole new world on the internet. Like, forget the physical world. I went from just being in my physical world to merging the physical and the digital. Like, if we being interconnected, to no, we being one. Like, everything I do on here it's like on the internet. And if it's not on the internet, I don't believe it. Right. So if you don't have internet receipts, people just won't believe it. Peace to the tribe. Peace. Shout out to everybody joining in. And that's where we like are currently building. That's what's coming in these 2020s. People are going to take this stuff serious, because it's going to look so obvious. Like, people are going to be so in demand of this internet thing, of blockchain, of artificial intelligence. It's going to just rapidly grow, because so many more people are going to be invested into it. So that's where we headed. I 5.0, it might be solidified, but I 6 is what I'm really worried about. Like, once it's all settled, you give it 10, 15 years for people to really get used to this abundance of technology. Like, you will literally be able to go to a website and buy an algorithm to hack a website, to hack someone's crypto wallet, to hack someone's cell phone. Like, something like, I'm not going to say you'll be able to hack anything and everything, because security will get better as well, especially with blockchain. But there will be easy ways for you to get access to dangerous tools on the internet, right? The dark web, most people still haven't went on it. It's popular, it's around, people do go surf it, but the vast majority of people have not. And then what happens when there's 1,000 dark webs, right? When you can just do anything kind of secretly in all of these different worlds. So once again, my long-winded answer of why I'm here, why I'm teaching this course, is because I want us to be prepared for where we're headed, right? It's not a secret. My bro recently, Zach, he just put me onto a book, and I just started it, but already got me like thinking and like, just getting even more prepared. But it's called The Future. I think it's called The Future is Digital, right? The world is, what is it called, bro? Dang, I got it on my Audible. I think it's called The Future is Digital. Let me know what it is, bro. The future. Oh yeah, the future is faster than you think. Thank you. I'm reading this right here. Said the world is going digital, like spooky, like you said, super spooky. So we need to be ready. We need to be prepared, and not only us, everyone around us. So my goal always, as you see in this picture, is to connect the dots. I'm here to connect with you, and hopefully I know you can connect with someone else. It's not a game. It's not a scam. It's not a pyramid scheme. You don't have to go sell anything. I just literally want you to go have those conversations that matter, right? Nipsey Hussle's birthday just passed, so I want to just shout out him, because one thing, like when I first was introduced to him, one thing I heard was someone say, yo, he was the first person who, tried to teach me how to read. He told me to read his books, or told me to go and watch this vlog, or this vlog, or listen to a podcast. I think that was key. Like that stuck with me. Like he did something, he instilled something in somebody else, just a simple encouragement to go educate yourself. And that stuck with that person for a lifetime. They never gonna forget it. So imagine if we all do that, and the compound effect of that. Okay, so really quick, let's go over some definitions. And you can ask questions if you want in the chat. Okay, you can ask questions if something isn't clear. I try to use basic, simple words, but if something is off, like I said, just let me know. Okay, so what is crypto? Because I keep saying that word, and you're gonna hear other people say that word a lot. It's not the end all be all. It's actually, like I said, it can mean so many different things. You can hear crypto, you can hear cryptocurrency. Crypto, like I said, also stands for cryptography, which is writing code to encrypt the message, okay? Or encrypt some kind of like a transaction, right? That's what we're about to talk about here in a second. So a cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency that is secured by cryptography. But the key thing is it makes it nearly impossible to counterfeit or double spend. Okay, so if somebody even gets access to some of your stuff, it will be still hard for them to fake it out. Or if they just somehow knew it's yours, let's say you have a secret code, right? And it's this long code that's like your Bitcoin, right? It represents your Bitcoin. That's your dollar bill. You know how every single dollar has a serial number on it, like that. But the thing is, in the digital world, if somebody gets access to it and can decrypt it, they can hack you and take your money and do something with it. Or they can act like you're you somewhere else. They can go to a store, give somebody your numbers, and then pay for something in your name. It's really hard to do that with cryptocurrencies because of blockchain. Because the one key thing that happens is there's a copy, right? Imagine that there's a receipt between me and you. We did a transaction, right? And you bought something for me. I gave you a receipt. Not only do you have that receipt, but everyone who is on this block, right? Let's just say the block can be this street. Everybody on the same street has that same receipt. So if I try to go somewhere else and act like you owe me money, it's not going to be validated by anyone, because everyone else is going to say, no, I got the receipt. And how come all of us have this receipt, but you have a different one? So it's just a way for us to govern ourselves. Once again, we don't have to worry about a judge. We don't have to worry about like auditors and accountants coming in to look at all of everything. It's all already on the blockchain. It's already been validated. So when you try to make a transaction, it just won't connect. It won't work. It's going to look invalid. Okay. So it's all built on, like I said, blockchain, which is literally code. And this is why we teach people how to code, because you hear this word blockchain, you like, what the heck is that? If I showed you the code on how to create your first blockchain, you'll be like, whoa, it's like 3 or 4 lines. It's super simple, right? It's basic code. The key thing is just the algorithm. The algorithm means just like the process of what happens after the 3 lines of code. So the key thing with all of this is the algorithm just builds on top of each other. So it gets smarter and smarter and smarter, because it uses prior information to create new information. So once we get into it, like I'm gonna do another webinar on this too here in the future, and I'm gonna show you guys some code so you can just see it in real time. You can see a blockchain being built one line at a time, right? So like they say, there's only 21 billion Bitcoins in the world, 21 million actually, right, in the world. So once those are all out there, there won't be any more dispersed. So there's 21 million unique serial numbers for each one of those Bitcoins out there. And that's the key thing, is that there's a unique number because it can be encrypted only a certain amount of times. Once it gets to that certain amount of times, nobody will be able to do it again. So a blockchain is essentially like a digital ledger. If you've ever seen a ledger, which is just a list of transactions. So a ledger can be your bank statement. When you go log into your bank, it shows you all of the statements, all of your transactions. That's all it is. It's that same thing, all of your transactions, but it can be for like Antoine sent a Bitcoin to Montrese. Montrese sent that Bitcoin to Zach. Zach sent that Bitcoin to Greg, so far and so on, right? All those transactions are there, but it's also anonymous. So that's a cool part too. You don't have to worry about your name being there. It won't say Zach, it won't say Antoine. Instead, it could be more anonymous, but at least it's still validated in the system. So overall, all of this is created, like I said, is a way for people to exchange, just like we do in the real world, but we exchange with our own creative value, right? We create our own value. It has a utility to it, which we'll talk about in a second. And once it has some kind of utility, us as a society will determine what it's worth. Whatever people are willing to give up in cash or give up in another cryptocurrency is what it's worth. Like Zach said, I love it. He said, it's all about transparency. Banks rely on secrecy. That's so key. Like I said, once everything is on a ledger, we can see what everybody's done. The banks, they love to put everything in the background. You give them your money, you don't know what's happening, right? You get no kind of insight into what's going on. So why give your money to a bank and you don't know how much money you could have made along the way like they did, right? At least with this, we can see exactly where everything is at, where it's being moved to. And there's some other cool things you can do with it too. So here's just some examples of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology and what it can do. Bitcoin, of course, is like one of the biggest out there. And it has the most hype, for sure, of all of them out there. So it's really dope. And most people use it and have been using it to transfer money, right? With smaller fees and quicker delivery. So it's better than credit card. It's going to charge you like what, 3%, or Stripe is going to charge you, or PayPal going to charge you 2.9%. It's way cheaper than that, right? You can do it for sometimes pennies, sometimes for free. That's the cool thing too, but also quick, right? You try to do an ACH transfer, it might take some time. You try to do a wire transfer, it's going to take some time. It can be hours, it can be days. With cryptocurrencies is usually within seconds or minutes, okay? And they're only getting faster and faster. So that's Bitcoin in a real nutshell, right? Real small nutshell. It's just a digital money, right? But instead, when you send money to people, you can do it quicker, especially online. You can do it quicker, and you can do it with smaller fees. Okay. There's even other ones that's quicker, like Brother David just said, like Ripple, XRP. You may have heard of that one as well. Super cheap, super quick way to send money across the internet. Also secure as well. And then we have another one, right? Ethereum. Ethereum is pretty much just like Bitcoin, right? Let's say it could do the same exact thing we just mentioned. It could transfer money, really small fees, but quick delivery as well. But then this cryptocurrency, right? When it said, I'm gonna do something different as well. I'm gonna allow people to use it just to transfer money, but also we're gonna make this a platform and focus on that aspect of it. So now people can actually build on top of my cryptocurrency, on top of my blockchain. So everything we do, pretty much you can do as well, and you can have your own use cases. So for example, people have been using Ethereum to create NFTs, right? Remember, Ethereum is just a encrypted message, an encrypted serial number. So if you got a Ethereum, you just own this encrypted message, right? This encrypted serial number. What if that serial number represented some really expensive digital art, right? Or some expensive photo taken of a rare photo of, you know, Tupac and Biggie getting ice cream together, right? And what if you can own that photo yourself, you know, because you own just this unique encrypted serial number? That's all NFTs are. But Ethereum is the technology that made that possible, right? It will generate those unique serial numbers so that way you can own it and only you own it. So that's because this algorithm, like I said before, is just spitting out these unique numbers one at a time, one at a time. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are both cryptos, but what you'll learn as you go along is that some of them have different functions. Some of them have different focuses. Some are used for, like I said earlier, supply chains. Some are used for virtual reality. Some are used for other kind of gamification, like creating digital goods. And then in this game, people can exchange money back and forth. And y'all know how big the gaming industry is, right? $1 billion industry. People love to play video games. And now to be able to put real money, real value into, I would say real money is digital money, digital currency inside of these games, but then you can cash it out for real money because people are willing to pay for this digital good. Right now, if I go on Fortnite, for example, or Call of Duty or one of those games and I buy the digital asset, like if I buy V-Bucks on Fortnite, I can't then cash that out somewhere and make a bunch of money, or it won't grow with interest, right? But it's a digital good. Ethereum is a digital good as well, right? So while parents are out here, or even adults are in these game stores, right, on a game, buying all of these digital goods that aren't earning anything in the long run, you may want to rethink that and say, you know, why want to buy a different type of digital good that can actually earn interest as it goes along? So it's real cool. It's kind of like putting your money into a bank, but also having fun. So here's a couple things that you can do with crypto. All right. Just a few things, right? So much. This is such a diverse field. Oh my God. And I'm gonna show you a couple more things you can do too. But first, I would just say accumulate, like start stacking up, like really stack up, and some just long-term, right? Just long-term, just being able to say that you own some years from now is going to be big because like it's going to be worth something, right? It's really going to be worth something. You got to pick the right ones, of course. But like I said here below, simply buying crypto every week for the past year has proven to be profitable for just about all of the top 50 cryptos, okay? Just buying crypto every single week. If you put $100 into crypto every week, over the past year, the ROI has been ridiculous, right? For most cryptos, you're gonna get over 100% return. Some you'll see even over 1,000% return, okay? Yes, I'll recommend a platform to buy on too. Yeah, it's been crazy, right? You know, some stocks you invest into, you'll get that like 10, 15, 20% year return. But right now we at this early stage with crypto and blockchain that you're getting, like I said, 100, 200, 300% returns. It's really crazy. Okay. And then that's just the first, that's just the actual currency growing over time, right? A currency going from being worth $1 to being worth $30 a year later, or being worth a fraction of a cent to being worth 50 cents a year later, right? Big gains. And that's just by you holding 1,000 of these coins or 10,000 of these coins. But then there's this possibility of you to gain compound interest on top of that. So on top of the 100, 200, 300% gains, you can put your crypto into a different pot, right? A different wallet, whatever you want to call it, that just earns interest for you. So it's kind of like a savings account, all right? So it's going to earn interest on top of the crypto that you just want to hold long term, okay? And it pays way more than banks, right? It's so dope. Sometimes it pays you back in more crypto. So now you're just earning more crypto that may be gaining as well. It's ridiculous. So that's called staking, but there's some other ones too, like farming, and we're gonna talk about some other options too. Yeah, Garvey just pointed out diversification. All right, that's really key. Joshua asks, is it better to dump into one crypto or diversify? Yeah, definitely diversify, for sure. For sure. You never know when one crypto is just going to crash and burn because of the SEC, right? Like XRP, right? Just a legal investigation can mess you up, or bad management, or, you know, lack of creativity. Anything can happen and the company just slumps, right? It happens with stocks, it happens with everything. So definitely diversify, but it also just like helps you win quicker. Like you never know which one of these cryptos are going to have a 1,000% gain over the next month. You just never know. Oh my God, one today just jumped like 115%. It's called Audius. That's a secret gem for y'all right now. Literally, it jumped so much because TikTok announced that it was going to use it as its main source of audio. So most of the music and sounds that you're going to hear now on TikTok are going to come from this company called Audius. And Audius is using blockchain technology to be able to pretty much pay artists to post their music on this app and allow them to stream it on different platforms. So look into it, right? It's just so cool. It's a regular streaming app, right? Pretty much like a Spotify or something, but instead they added blockchain to it and then did a deal with TikTok. and now their cryptocurrency skyrocketed. Okay, it's crazy. Yeah, crypto is like a digital stock, but stock is digital too. But it's like a stock in what? It's like you own a stock in a specific blockchain kind of thing. So yeah, but it's like a stock. So yeah, that's a good way to think of it. You own a part of, but even more than that, I feel like with stocks, like they can be taken back. I don't know. I feel like they can be taken back. With this crypto, I don't feel like that ever happens. Like, isn't that true? Like with stocks, you know, companies go public and then they do buyback offers and stuff. They try to get it back from their users. I don't know. It feels different with crypto and blockchain. Like you can own your own, but I think you're on the right path. Like, yeah, you put your crypto in your own wallet. Ain't nobody, they can't touch that. Yeah, you spelled the right audience. Yep. Yeah, or they can do a split, of course. Thank you, Jerry. Yep, that's another example. So yes, that's why I just think it's better. So those are two ways so far, right? You can accumulate, stack, learn long-term. If you want some like more tips on good cryptos to buy, if you want to see my portfolio, I do that at one-on-one coaching. So if you want one-on-one coaching session, you can sign up on the Unlock Academy website or send us a message for the link. And in that session, I'll walk you through my portfolio, right? Audience is just one of those joints. I caught it. Yo, and this just happened, right? This is within the last 2 days. So like that's really key right there, right? Being able to know which ones to look out for. So in the one-on-one, I'll break all of that down for you. I'll show you which ones to buy, why to buy, and just options. I'm not a financial advisor, so you can't take any of this as advice and like guarantees or anything like that. But I'll just show you what I do and just give you some hints to lead you in the right direction. One more thing, and this is also something we could talk about in a one-on-one, but the most, like, I think impactful thing you can do with crypto as well is create, right? Just build your own, do something amazing with it, solve a problem. That's what I will start with. Like, don't just go out there to make it for the sake of making it to make some money. No, really figure out what you can do, how you can take something in this real world that's a problem and somehow, you know, this blockchain technology can make it better. And I know it may take some time, right? It's not going to be just come to you right away. But I'm telling you, the more you educate yourself on how this technology is being used, you're going to see how you can use it to change the world. I'm telling you, I got so many ideas and I'm just like sitting on, I'm ready to get started. But of course, I got to eat what's on my plate first. But in the meantime, I am going to focus on accumulating and compounding. So that way, when I'm ready, I got all of the resources at my hand to really invest into my creative strategy. Okay. So how can you get your hands on crypto? Somebody just asked like, hey, where do I buy at? There's a few different ways how you can get some crypto. So one, you could buy through an app. Okay. There are websites and apps you can use to buy crypto and different tokens. I listed a few right there. Excuse me. So that's just one way, right? You can just buy it, purchase it directly. And that's the most common way. And this is a great way to make some money. Like I said, you buy it, you hold it long-term. And you just, you hold on, you sit onto it. You buy you some Ethereum and just, as the price goes up, you see how much you gain interest and stuff like that. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to stare at the charts. It can become addictive. Just really checking to see your gains. I would say just be careful. And these apps will send you notifications. And these notifications will be like, Bitcoin is up 5% today, or Bitcoin is down 10% today. And that will kind of scare you, right? Get you emotional, or it can make you feel greedy and say, I got to buy right now. But what you don't want to be doing is just buying just because you see some new news every single time. Like, try to be on point, because usually what we do is we buy at the top of the market, then it comes down, right? You buy as it's going up, boom, it hits this top, and then it starts to go back down. And then we get scared and say, oh my God, I'm losing my money. Let me take it back out. But then guess what? It goes back up. So the easiest thing you can do, honestly, is just to invest as often as you can. When I say much, I mean as often as you can. It doesn't have to be much. It can be 25 cents. It can be $1. It can be $10. It can be $1,000. When you get some extra funds to invest, I would say definitely build up that crypto portfolio. I know a lot of people are into stocks as well, and Forex as well, and real estate, and so many things you can invest in. I'm not saying put all of your money into just this one thing. Once again, I'm not an advisor, but I'm just saying make sure you build that wallet up, because we live in that time where we're hearing about it, and we do not want to be those people who be like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? I was scared. I was procrastinating. I didn't educate myself on which ones I needed. I didn't take that time or invest that money into really figuring it out. Like, just over the last few years, man, people have been making good money, right? But I'm inspired by the people who's been in it for like the last 10, 15, right? Who really been in it, been getting that money, right? Who invested a while ago and was like, I trust this stuff. I'm gonna give it a chance. I see the vision for where it's going. Like, I know we can't go that far back, but I'm telling you, it's still early. It's still early. All right. So one more thing you can also do is you can mine or stake or yield farm. These are different things you can do. So once you own a currency, you can put it into a certain pot. Like I said, just think of it like that. And when it's in this pot mix, it's just sitting there. It's like an account, like a different bank account, like a savings. You put it into this account and literally it's going to gain interest. It can gain interest by different ways. Like a bank, it could just because you're letting me hold your crypto, I'll give you an interest on it. I'll just pay you a little tax because now they're going to go and do different things with it. They're going to flip it in different ways. Or you can mine, which means you use your computer, use hardware to crack these algorithms and to pretty much validate transactions. That's for later. That's for a later course or conversation or one-on-one. We can talk about that. But mining is just this whole idea of like pretty much going out there and just think of it like gold mining. That's where the term kind of comes from. You know, there's gold in the earth, right? And you can wait for somebody to go and dig it and then sell it to you, or you can go dig yourself. That's pretty much what mining is, okay? Yeah, audio is the ticker symbol for sure. Yo, y'all own it. Good. I love it, man. That's what I'm talking about. Lori, Brother Davis, everybody else who's looking up that crypto. Thank you. Is it on crypto.com? It is. It's on crypto.com too. Yep. Yeah, we own it. That's what I'm talking about. So I really want y'all to join the tribe. If you're not in a tribe, if you already Unlock Academy member, type tribe for me so I can know who's in the building. And while you guys do that, I'm gonna say one more way that you can make crypto and get your hands on some crypto is to start accepting crypto payments. Like it's really that simple. When somebody says, "Hey, I want to pay you $100 for your service," or "I want to pay you $1,000 for your service," tell them like, "No, I don't want $1,000. Instead, figure out how to send me some ETH." Right? Go to Coinbase, set up an account, buy $1,000 worth of Ethereum, and send me that. Right? Because guess what? A week from now, that Ethereum might be not worth 1,000 no more. It's going to be worth 1,500. Right? So now think about that. You just get paid in a different currency that's going to grow over time. Okay, so that's one way. That's just one benefit of accepting crypto payments is that the volatility, of course, the risk is it can go down as well. Somebody gives you 1,000 in ETH, it may be worth 800 tomorrow. But do you have hope? Right? And that's what I do right now. Like, I really have hope that this is going to be as big as we expect it to be. And it's not, when I say we, I mean thousands and thousands of people around the world, right? Millions at this point. Bitcoin just hit $2 trillion and crypto just hit $2 trillion in market capitalization overall. It's amazing, right? Hit 2 trillion again. So it's crazy. And even with, like I said, once you see my portfolio, you'll see like Bitcoin, most people think about that's what they need to buy. But Bitcoin may only grow, 25% over the next month, which is good. Like, that's amazing, actually. Like, stocks aren't doing that. Savings accounts aren't doing that. 401ks aren't doing that. But imagine like you can have a crypto that grows 125% over that same period of time, over 1 month. Like, that's what's happening when you look at these other altcoins, alternative coins. So that's why it's really an interesting space right now. And just let you guys know, thank you again for being here. This is really, really awesome. On behalf of me and the whole team, all the coaches, all the students, all the tribe, we hope you hop on this blockchain train with us. Do not miss it. The gold rush was a heck of a thing. The .com, that was also a big, big rush. We actually didn't totally miss that. A lot of us did, but do your history, you'll find out that a lot of the basis and the internet and a lot of these technologies, even to being able to register domains, a lot of this stuff was created by people who look like you. Like, do your own history so that way you don't actually put it on a pedestal and say it's beyond you. Okay, you can do it. So some updates, just some things to look forward to. We have the crypto trading bot going live next quarter, right? Really gearing up to get that going. As you guys know or may know, I built the automated trading bot that trades different currencies for me, like US dollar and Japanese yen, but also it's also trading things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and things like that. Cardano is so dynamic. It's getting into options, like, and it's just working in the background automatically. And then I also said, you know what, I'm gonna make it public in a sense. And right now people can actually use the bot to make trades. So the bot will tell you when there's momentum in the market, where you can get in at, what's a good area. So that way you can put in your numbers based on what the bot tell you and make it simple pretty much to jump into the market. You don't have to stare at the charts all day, get a notification, get an entry point, get an exit point, execute. So the trading bot is already sending signals for people. And in the fourth quarter, we're going to make it automated for people like it is for myself. And it's going to be able to be automated for you as well. It's going to trade. It's already trading on Forex and crypto, and options are going to be coming next. I would love to get into indexes as well, futures as well. But right now, 2021, we're focused on crypto and Forex. Stocks as well as trading stocks too. But like I said, just so you know, when you sign up, you only get access to the Forex. When I say crypto and stocks, those things are in beta. Before we release anything, test, right? I collect massive amounts of data, make sure it's working first, and then I share it with the tribe, okay? Also, if you would like one-on-one coaching for the next 4 months, for the rest of this year, I didn't do it pretty much all year, so we're going to end the year off with some coaching. I'm really passionate about helping people reach some goals before this year is over. A lot of people like to start the year off with this heavy momentum with resolutions, but you know, where's that coach that's going to help you at the end when you got to get around that last lap? I want to be that for you. I want to have conversations. I want to share my knowledge with you, my expertise, and also just my questions. I want you to see what's inside of my brain, where I'm headed, what I'm thinking. Like you said, how do you stay ahead of the market? I want to show you the way I think, the way I process this, and show you in real time how to look at charts, how to read through like these things like market cap and utility, and all these different things, all the concepts we talked about today. So that's my presentation for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a real basic introduction to crypto. And I just want you guys to be ready for where we headed, okay? If you got any questions, stick around and we're gonna get into it. If not, peace, unlock.